guys, Abby here. Welcome to Love Abby, where we share stories and experiences that might help those who are going through a difficult time right now. And this is a safe space, wala pong judgmental dito. Everything that we say here is meant to help and not to offend. I know that many of us are going through many difficult things. And magkakaiba man tayo ng mga pinagdadaanan, we share the same lessons. So sino-sino pa bang magtutulungan kundi tayo-tayo lang din? The world needs a lot more love and a lot more people helping each other in the stormy seasons of our lives. So let's make the world a better place, one story at a time. Rejection is an experience that many of us fear. You know, sometimes we bet our lives on a certain idea or event. We invest so much in it that if it doesn't happen, we fear that everything will go to waste. It is an experience that could make or break us. When we get rejected, we either get demotivated or let the situation push us to keep on trying. But nobody wants to get rejected, diba? Sino ba namang may gusto nun? Pero alam niyo naman ang buhay, minsan kung ano pa yung iniiwasan natin, yun pang nakukuha natin. Rejections aren't something that we can avoid because we never know when they happen. And it's also not something that we can prepare for or be ready for because diba, tayo as humans, we always want to think positively. But one thing we can do to help ourselves stay confident in the face of rejection is to have the right mindset in dealing with them. And I hope the story that I will be sharing today will inspire us to allow rejections to make us instead of breaking us. For those who don't know, a little introduction about myself. I currently work for the World Championships of Performing Arts here in the Philippines. So every year, we bring a team to compete in the Talent Olympics abroad. And ako yung in charge sa delegation for NCR. And kami yung nag-aasikaso ng mga papeles nila and of course yung visa nila since the competition is held annually in the US. So in 2016, we had an aspirant. His name is Christiani Rebada. He passed the auditions and nakompleto niya na din lahat ng requirements. So what's left na lang is yung visa. On the day of the visa interview ng mga delegates, he was there and he was very nervous, and I remember telling him na okay lang yan, na-briefing ka na namin sa lahat ng dapat mong malaman about this interview, tapos wala naman ding problema sa mga papers mo. So, I don't think madedenay ka, mabibigyan ka ng visa niyan. I was trying to pull up their spirits kasi, di ba, nakakakaba eh. Kasi hindi mo alam kung anong mga klaseng tanong yung ibabato sa'yo. Tapos, kailangan straight English ang sagot mo kasi ang kaharap mo Amerikano, di ba? Minsan nga, ang itatanong lang sa'yo kung ano birthday mo, nakalimutan mo na din sa sobrang kaba mo eh, di ba? So, we tried our best to keep the atmosphere positive for everybody. They all went in for the interview and then kaming mga officers, nag-antay lang kami sa labas. We were waiting for them anxiously, nervously, and I think there was about 60 of them. And syempre, we prayed, we expected everybody to get a visa. We just wanted to think positive kasi we want everybody to be able to represent the country in the Talent Olympics. So, ayun, nung lumabas sila, we learned that 5 of them hindi nabigyan ng visa. And si Christiani, he was one of the 5 na hindi nabigyan ng visa. So when we asked him, sabi niya wala naman daw masyadong tinanong, hindi din naman daw hiningi yung mga papeles niya. And sabi niya he felt like yung mga sagot niya tama din naman. So he really couldn't understand kung bakit hindi siya nabigyan ng visa. We saw how devastated he was and he really wanted to reapply. Sabi niya hindi, baka natsambahan lang na bad trip yung yung consul. So mag-a-apply ako ulit, sabi niya sa amin. So we respected his decision and we assisted him again for another interview. And so he reapplied. But unfortunately, hindi pa din siya nabigyan ng visa. Syempre, na-discourage na yung tao. Twice kang nag-apply for a visa tapos twice ka ding na-deny. And at that time, he was so confused kasi wala daw siyang nakikitang rason and wala din kaming nakitang rason kung bakit siya hindi mabigyan ng visa. He was really discouraged, or so I thought. Kasi 1 year din kaming walang contact after that. So in 2016, we brought a team to the US and pinalad din naman because on that year, we were able to bring home the grand title, which was the Grand Champion Senior Performers of the World, which was Junior New System, kung kilala nyo sila. They're the dancers, yung mga lalaking nagsasayaw ng naka-heels. Ayun, sila yung nanalo on that year. Maybe some of you are familiar with them. I think Asia's Got Talent and America's Got Talent din sila. You must have seen their videos online somewhere. So after that, when we came home, we started to prepare for the auditions for 2017 naman. And to our surprise, we saw Christiani there. He came back the following year to audition again. Sabi niya, siguro naman this time, pwede na. Pwede na akong mabigyan ng visa. And to cut the long story short, this time around, nabigyan na din talaga siya ng visa. And we were also happy for him until the day of our flight. Yung araw ng flight namin papuntang US, we, of course, ginaid namin lahat ng mga delegates to check in. Pinauna namin silang lahat. We checked their attendance. And I think a few hours before our flight, wala pa rin si Christiani. Oh my gosh, grabe yung stress namin. Tinetext namin, tinatawagan namin kung nasaan na ba siya. Kasi alam mo yung napapaisip na din kami na, grabe, you're so persistent na makakuha ka ng visa para makapag-compete ka abroad. Tapos hindi ka sisipot sa araw ng flight. 'Di ba? Parang nasasayangan kami para sa kanya. So we really tried our best to contact him. And an hour passed, wala pa din. Another hour, ni text, wala. So about an hour before our flight, yun nga, nagde-decide na kami kung ano ba, papasok na ba tayo kasi baka pati kami mahuli, hindi din naman pwede yun. Marami kaming aasikasuhin na ibang delegates pa. So, while we were deciding, we saw him running from the entrance. Tapos, patakbo na siya sa amin. Tapos, sobrang stress and haggard na ng mukha niya. Tapos, yun kinuwento niya sa amin, ang nangyari pala sa kanya, maaga siyang umalis, and nakarating na din siya sa airport. Pagkadating niya sa airport, tsaka niya lang na-realize na wala yung backpack niya. And nandun sa backpack niya, yung cellphone niya, yung wallet niya, yung passport niya, and yung airline ticket niya. So, lahat ng importanteng bagay nandun sa backpack niya na wala. Diba? Ano ba namang malas mo sa araw pa ng flight mo, mawawala mo yung backpack mo. And I can only imagine kung anong klaseng stress yung pinagdaanan niya kasi isipin mo, lahat ng valuables mo nandun sa backpack. And sabi niya, bit-bit daw talaga niya yun. And he left it, I think, along the way sa pagko-commute niya. I think he left it in the tricycle. And buti na lang, may mabuting loob yung driver at I don't know how, pero somehow naibalik sa kanya yung mga gamit niya. But again, to cut the long story short, nakarating din naman talaga siya sa US and he was able to compete. And you know what, for 2017, it was a very lucky year for Team Philippines kasi back-to-back win for the junior and the senior. We won both grand titles. And sa senior category, guess who? Siyempre, si Christiani ang nanalo and we were so happy. And grabe, we were crying with him because we knew what kind of battles he had to fight just to make it there. And here's a short clip of his winning moment.
The 2017 Senior Grand Champion Performer of the World is... from the Philippines! You did it!
And it was such an inspirational moment because at that moment, everything suddenly made sense. Kung bakit hindi siya binigyan ng visa noong 2016. Isipin mo, had he been given a visa in 2016 at nakatuloy siya, baka hindi pa siya ang mananalo at that time kasi 'di ba yung junior new system yung nanalo. It really goes to show na kahit anong pilit mo sa gusto mong mangyari, pag sinabi ni Lord na hindi pa panahon, it's not gonna happen. 'Di ba? He tried to get a visa again. Sinubukan niyang ipilit na, sige na, I really want this. But, God had greater plans for him. Kaya siguro sinabi ni Lord na sa 2017 mag-try ka ulit kasi dyan ka mananalo. Truly, rejections are God's redirections. And had he stopped trying in 2016 kasi na-discourage na siya, he wouldn't have seen the victory that was coming his way. In the moments of rejection, sometimes we don't understand why they are happening to us. But that's also because we don't know what lies ahead. Hindi natin nakikita yung future natin. All that we see is what is happening at that very moment. And we wonder why the devil keeps on dampening our spirits para mawalan tayo ng confidence, di ba? One thing I learned is that the devil doesn't bother us for who we are now or for what we have now. He fights us because he knows what we are capable of. He fights us because he knows our future is very bright. But he knows that every child of God is loved greatly. And syempre, kung mahal tayo ng Ama natin, our Father will always want what is best for us. 'Di ba? So parang automatic ngayon, alam na 'yun ng demonyo na itong batang 'to, mahal ng Diyos 'to. Maganda ang magiging future nito. So sirain nga natin yung araw niya ngayon. Tanggalin nga natin yung confidence niya para siya na mismo ang aayaw. That's why he brings rejections. Pero no match pa rin siya kay Lord because God always makes sure that we get the best out of those difficult situations. God makes sure that all things works together for our good. 'Di ba, when you create something, alam mo kung ano yung makakasira doon, alam mo din kung ano yung nakakabuti para dun sa kinreate mo. I had recently been fond of baking, and I learned that in baking, everything needs to be precise, and timing is also very important. Like for example, when you bake cookies, kailangan i-preheat mo muna yung oven. Kasi kung hindi mo ipinreheat yung oven, tapos pinasok mo yung cookie doughs mo, hindi siya maluluto ng maayos. And just like that, God is like a baker. He created us, so He knows what works for us and what doesn't. He knows na minsan hindi pa tayo readyng isalang sa isang sitwasyon because He knows that we are not yet ready. Di kaya, He knows na hindi pa ready yung sitwasyon para sa atin. He also knows when to pull us out of a situation kasi alam niya, okay na to, hinog na to, prepared na to. 'Di ba? Even if it may seem otherwise, God will never put us through something that will not work out for our good. So put your trust in Him. That behind every rejection is a good reason why it can't happen or can't happen yet. It may seem like you are at a disadvantage at the moment, but trust me, you are at a great advantage because you are being steered in the right direction. And I hope that we have this mindset, or at least try to have this mindset to help ourselves whenever the rejections get to us. And if you're going through a difficult time right now, I'm here to remind you that storms don't last forever. Love, Abby. If you have a story that you would like to share with us, please don't be shy to send us a message in one of the platforms below. And if you like this video, please share this to those who you think might need to hear these stories. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you for watching!